Hello, I'm Minister Neci with Real Talk Ministry, Black History Moments. Before I begin talking about today's topic, I want you to picture in your mind a time where not only were Black people not free, but women of any color and of any race were not able to speak up either. Think about what you know of slavery, and think about just how dangerous it was to try to challenge those who would have the liberty to hurt you just for being brave. In 1871, a situation took place where a woman wanted to be free so badly that she challenged the very people who didn't want her to be free by using their own laws against them. Today, we are going to talk about a woman who didn't care about anything but her freedom. She was brave and courageous. Her name was Mom Bett, but she changed it to Elizabeth Freeman. She changed her name because she challenged the laws of the land and received her freedom. Who was Mom Bett? Mom Bett was born in Claverack, New York. She was a mother, wife, sister, daughter, and a slave. Due to the death of her husband, who died in the Revolutionary War, she ended up being a single mother to her daughter, Little Bett. As a slave, she endured the hardships of what slavery was, which included painful treatment and abuse toward her and her loved ones. She was a woman who was attentive to the people around her. So although we know that during slavery, Black people were not taught to read or write, she would overhear conversations as she served the slave masters their food. And in doing so, she heard them talking about the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights was a law that gave civil rights and liberties to everyone. She was a woman who was bound by the laws of slavery, but according to the Bill of Rights, she shouldn't be. Mom Bett served as a slave for almost 40 years, but something happened that made her make this bold move to take back her freedom. One day, the mistress of the house she served attacked her sister with a heated kitchen shovel. The kitchen shovel is very similar to what a metal spatula would look like today, but much bigger. Mom Bett was having none of it, and she defended her sister by taking a hit from the hot kitchen shovel herself. She became so upset that she left the house. It was very dangerous of her to step in to protect her sister, but even more dangerous to leave the house. But she didn't care. She was fed up. At this point, the Bill of Rights had been passed for a year, and she remembered that in the Constitution it said that all people were born free and equal. She thought that if that was the case, then she shouldn't be a slave. So she found a lawyer to sue her slave masters. A lawyer named Sedgwick took the case. Remember when I mentioned that Black people didn't have rights, but no woman of any race had full freedom as well? Well, because she was a woman, she couldn't even go in to defend herself. They had to add a Black slave named Brom because they felt that the judge would hear a man's opinion before hearing a woman's. The case that went before the court was called Brom and Bett versus Ashley. Ashley was the last name of their slave owners who they were suing for their freedom. They won. Not only did the courts rule in their favor, but they also received 30 shillings along with their freedom. 30 shillings would be worth over $1,000 in today's time, and that type of money she received back then made her a wealthy woman. Once Mom Bett became a free woman, she changed her name to Elizabeth Freeman. Her slave owners begged her on numerous occasions to come back to work for them, but she refused. In her 20 years as a free woman, she was able to buy her own house and not work as a slave, but get paid for her work. Elizabeth Mom Bett Freeman, who died on December 28, 1829, was a free woman surrounded by the love of her kids and grandkids. And did you also know W.E.B. Du Bois was her grandson? It seems like fighting for freedom runs in the family. I also want to take a moment to give another side note to let you know that oftentimes slaves, when they became free, would change their last name to Freeman. We honor Elizabeth Mom Bett Freeman. This is Minister Neci with Real Talk Ministry, Black History Moments. Feel free to visit my website at www.realtalkministry.com. Thank you again, and God bless.